for my pachyderm pabasi and my feathered friend here, I'm sure you know that today we're talking about 7 facts you didn't know about Dumbo. The year is 1941. The Walt Disney Company has already released 3 animated features: Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Pinocchio, and Fantasia. Now they're on their 4th, Dumbo. They are embarking on a new artistic and animated journey because Dumbo, the main protagonist or the main character in the movie, does not utter a single word, not even out of his trunk. No siree, Bob. I mean, it was sort of prevalent in prior Disney animated films like Dopey in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and Gideon in Pinocchio, but it was never a main character. I'm sorry, I gotta take this elephant nose off. It smells like hot silicone rubber and childhood smells. Okay, back on track. Initially, Walt Disney did not want to make a movie about our long-eared elephant friend. No. But some of his writers were extra persistent. So, every day, before Walt Disney would get into the studio, they would write a treatment for the story and lay it on his desk. Every day, they would be doing this, slowly building the story, slowly getting Walt Disney's attention, until finally, one day before they laid the next chapter on his desk, he rushed to them saying, "Okay, I love this story. What happens next?" They got him hook, line, and sinker, folks. So when Walt Disney finally gave them the green light to create Dumbo, Walt Disney did not look back on that with regret, because he said that Dumbo was his favorite feature film to work on. Unlike Pinocchio and Snow White, which were written decades and maybe even hundreds of years before Disney made it into a movie, the Dumbo book was actually written in 1939, 2 years before it was actually released by the Walt Disney Company. It was written by Helen Aberson and illustrated by Harold Pearl, a husband and wife duo. And it was first published in a very revolutionary way to read a picture book called Roll-a-Book. Now, it didn't gain mass appeal in the 1930s, but still, it's a very innovative concept. So basically, the story is written and illustrated on a long piece of paper, much like a scroll, and then it's rolled up inside a box. There's a wheel on the outside, and the reader turns it to get further along in the story as it opens up. Pretty revolutionary, right? But it just didn't gain mass appeal at all. And unfortunately, there are no known copies of the Dumbo Roll-a-Book to be found. Even though our most beloved flying-eared elephant is named Dumbo, heck, even the movie is called that, that's not his real name. No, it's Jumbo Jr., obviously after his father, Jumbo Sr. When Dumbo was greenlit for production, Walt Disney kept it on a super tight budget. He wanted to make as much money as possible to sort of counteract the underperforming draws of Pinocchio and Fantasia in the years prior. He packed down the budget to about $813,000. And when it was released, it made $2.5 million at the box office. Success! Some of the tricks that they employed to cut costs were reusing cells throughout the movie, painting the backgrounds in watercolor instead of gouache and other expensive mediums, and focusing on simpler character designs. This year in 2019, the Walt Disney Company is set to release a live-action reboot of Dumbo, almost 78 years after its original release in 1941. In this upcoming reboot, Chris Pine, Tom Hanks, and Will Smith were all interested in starring in the film, but ultimately they declined. Instead, we have other star power like Danny DeVito and Michael Keaton. Tim Burton was tapped to direct this live-action remake, and in true fashion of his, he will make the movie darker and more serious than the animated release. So it should be pretty interesting. We have a ton of live action reboots of Disney's classics, like Dumbo, of course, Aladdin, and Lion King. This is a great year to be a Disney fan. Well, thank you for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you feel the need. I'm your magical source on everything Disney, the Disney Detective. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.